Almost Friday. Friday Eve, everybody. Should we start this puppy right on time? That's right, OG's in the house. It's off season, baby. Positive vibes in the comment section. Can we all bump our Harrisons on top of that like button? Get this party started. It is an open forum conversation today. Should we just do it? Ladies and gentlemen, good vibes to you. Diet Cokes for me. Cheers, everybody. How's everybody doing this afternoon, evening, or tomorrow? To our Australians out there, our batchy friends in Australia, good to see you tomorrow. How we doing? We all hanging in there? No pizza for me today. No pizza for me. I got Thai leftover. That's what I'm working on today. Some Thai leftover. Cheers, Tiffany. How are you? This song's got me grooving. Ready to go. I don't have many tabs pulled up. Here's what I got. I got some love shared with me, and I got some criticism shared, and I'm going to play both of it. I'll let people criticize me. All day long, you can criticize me. It's all right. I won't cry myself to sleep later. No problem whatsoever. Just kidding there. Hey, folks. Hello, Diane. Ohio's in the house. Can I tell you something about Ohio? They've been starting to play on my Hulu advertisements to try to get Californians to move to Ohio. And no offense to anyone in Ohio. You know, I love Columbus. You know, Cincinnati's got the skyline. Dayton, not so much. Cleveland, who knew? But, you know, it's gonna be a no for me, dog. It's gonna be a no for me. Abby Thomason's in the house. You can't handle the truth. Can we handle Abby? Good to see you, Abby. Bachelor off season, that's right. Well, you know, I did the math, folks. I did the math here. We've got Katie Thurston in May, right? So that's May and June. Bleeds into July. Then we got Bachelor in Paradise to finish out the summer. And then we go straight into Michelle, which pretty much takes us to Christmas. So, you can't handle the truth. Sending love from Texas. Hello, Texas.
You cut the crap.
Thank you so much for cutting that crap with $5. I appreciate you over there. Doing a good thing. And then, of course, you know, Lisa Reed is in the house. Lisa, I got a little sound bar for you.
Be careful who you bang.
I feel like that's the only advice I can give Lisa. You're in your young 20s.
Be careful who
just
you
be careful
bang.
who you bang. I'm not saying don't bang. I'm just saying, you know.
Be careful who you
be
bang.
careful, you know. Call me up if you need to know if you're doing making the right decisions in life. I'll always tell you to go for it. I'm the worst wingman. Whenever my single days, I'd have a buddy be like, I don't know, Dave, what do you think? And I'd be like, you can't handle
handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth, so just be
That's
careful what you
what you
bang,
say.
or else
You
I'm
cut
gonna.
the crap.
Okay, we're done. Somebody please take the soundbar away from me. Bachelor in Paradise premieres in August. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm hoping to have my outdoor podcasting studio set up. I got these pretty aggressive music, by the way. I've got this lemon lime tree. It's like a I don't know. It's like a lemon and lime tree. I don't know how it works. I don't have the science degree. I'm not a botanist, okay? But I got this lemon lime tree, and if you saw Tasha's Instagram, we were gifted some tequila. So we did fresh squeezed lemon lime margaritas, and we did some monk fruit, which is not, monks don't make it. It's just, I don't know why it's called monk fruit, but that's what it is. We did that on the rim. And let me tell you something, we were ready to peel some paint off the walls. A good tequila. So you guys are all invited to come over for Bachelor in Paradise. I think I'll do that. I think I'll do like margarita, Bachelor in Paradise live streams. Maybe I'll get the Tommy Bahama shirt going on. I'll have some sort of fedora. We'll get right into it. Oh, Maxine, thank you so much for cutting the crap with the $4.99. Appreciate you so much. Keeping it up. I'm trying to keep it up. Did you guys see the shout out that I got today? I got a nice little shout out today from Maggie. Have you guys seen this video that I made of her? She is just amazing. Look at this. She gave me a swipe up. Nobody ever gives me a swipe up. He did an amazing job. Love it. Let's show him some love. How sweet of her. You know, because I played this interview she did. She did this like interview that only had 1,500 views or whatever. She did it back in, I think, late November or December, and it was so... Can you guys hear me? Oh no. Hello? Anyone out there? Let me know if you guys can hear me. RIP Livestream. Buffering. Hold on. I'm trying to catch up to the chat here. You lose me? You can hear me now? Am I back? Am I back? Let me play some music here. What the heck was that, guys? What the hell did I just do? You can see me? You can hear me? Well, let me tell you something. Where I come from... Okay. This is ridiculous. You know what happened is my computer died. I had no idea that even though my computer died, the live stream would keep going. So anyway, thank you for hanging in there, folks. I got these little flimsy connector ports for my MacBook, and if the thing's even off by the slightest degree, it's not charging. I wanted to blame the dog. Clearly not the dog's fault. Boone, how could you? Everyone donate to Boone's Patreon over there. How could you, Boone? You hear me loud and clear. Good to know. Be careful who you live stream with.
Who you bang.
Tell you what kind of amateur hour thing am I running over here? I wonder if Maggie is going to be on Bachelor in Paradise. Well, I think Maggie is going to be on Bachelor in Paradise. I hope she is. I mean, boy, did we miss out on such a beautiful soul. How sweet is she? You know, she says, I don't want to get involved in the politics, and I'll tell you, the politics with this situation in Ethiopia is wild, because the second I made this video, people were coming at me telling me I didn't know what I was talking about, and I was like, look, regardless of who's right and who's wrong, because I really am not that educated in the conflict there, you know, people are they're cutting off power to people's homes, they're cutting off electricity, they're freezing their bank accounts, they're cutting off, their water supply. It's like, this is very dangerous. Anyway, so she's got a big story to tell. Am I still freezing up? It's not saying that I'm freezing up on my end. Oh, it says you can hear me. Let me know that you guys are back. You want both Victorias to meet. Well, that would be interesting. I think they would get along, because I think they would be afraid to, like, come at each other, so I think they would respect each other. Let's do a double check, though. Make sure you guys can hear me right now. So, Heather Scott says, hi from Chicago. I missed your update on Chris Harrison getting a lawyer. What's going on? Well, Chris Harrison got, Brian Friedman, celebrity lawyer. He represented Cassie against Colton. He represented Gabrielle Union. And, a lot of, like anything, Abby will tell you, most lawsuits are pretty boring when you're representing, like, a talent agency. But, yeah, I mean, Chris Harrison's, like, people, I never understood when people are like, oh, he's rich, he can just do what he wants. It's like, yeah, but he's never going to get another job like this. He's going to fight like hell to keep it. I mean, you cannot like the guy. Like, my opinion doesn't matter, but I think it's pretty obvious anyone with that type of job is going to try to keep it, you know? But, you know, they took 2020 off for Bachelor in Paradise. Let me see if I can pull up the Bachelor in Paradise news over here. I didn't have time to make a video about this, but it looks like we've got... Actually, here's what I'll do. I'll pull this over here. We'll talk about Bachelor in Paradise right now. There it is, a bunch of wealthy millennials. Yeah, well, actually, it's you know what's crazy is I always assumed that Chris Bukowski, is that his name? Am I pronouncing that right? I always assumed he was so much older than he is. Doesn't he look like the dad that's like chaperoning the kids' junior prom? And he's like, all right, guys, you only drink in front of me. I need to make sure everyone's keys are in the basket. And then I found out he's younger than me, and that made my knees hurt. Find that out. So it appears there's only one person that has been confirmed. Are you guys familiar with this? Only one person, and it might have been an accident, has been confirmed for the Bachelor in Paradise. So it is Dr. Joe. Hold on, I'm pulling this up here. This seems to be the only person confirmed here. Got his vaccine, which I did 2 days ago. Feeling pretty good. A little bit of a dead arm. Had to get Thai food. Any excuse to get Thai food. Oh, the vaccine hurt a little bit. Thai food. Oh, I stubbed my toe. Thai food. Yeah, Chris looks older, doesn't he? All right, I'm going to share with you guys what I just had to do. I just had to audition for a project. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm going to let you guys guess what it is, okay? Because legally, I'm not allowed to say what it is, but when you guys guess it, I'm going to let you guys know, okay? So I just auditioned for season 3 of a show that was canceled and then brought back to life. I'm going to let you guys guess what the show is. The first season took place in New York City. Yeah, Bennett looks like he's like in his 40s. I'm at that age now where I'm starting to feel like I'm starting to realize I'm a lot older than the contestants when all the contestants are born in the 90s. Angel W. Yeah, you nailed that one. Liz, you guys are great. How did you guys get it so quick? Oh my gosh. Did I mention it? Did I mention it in my Instagram? No, it's not Unreal. How did you guys all guess it? Yeah, all right. Well, you win. It's a small role. But I forgot that I had the audition. And I was in Hollywood. I had to take like a long Uber ride to go get my car because I had to get my brakes done. And I was like, oh, it'll be cheap. No. And I think the brakes are worth more than my car now. Oh, I did mention it on Instagram? Oh, jeez. I'm such an idiot. Abby says you'll die. Abby, don't die, please. Everything's going to be okay. I used to go to the gym in Union Square in New York City, and I remember stretching. I used to, in my single days, I did a lot more stretching. You know, you'd have 4 hours to go to the gym. Now everything's in a rush. You don't have time to go to the gym. But I do remember stretching, looking over and seeing Penn Bagley, you know. He's a good-looking dude. He's so skinny. Like, he's the reason why, like, actors are so skinny because he looks ripped on camera, but he's so skinny. Like, I would look fat on camera. Do you know what I mean? When they say the camera adds 10 pounds, it really does. Lauren Reardon says, Dave, I watched Unreal yesterday and it was terrible. Yeah, well, look, it's a terrible show, but it's like, you know, you can still like a terrible show, right? You guys are here for the live streams. Come on now, folks. All right. Okie dokie. How's my car in the new house? Well, I haven't had any car batteries stolen, but I also haven't fixed the door that got kicked in from the homeless guy or the crazy guy who kicked my door in. But I got the brakes fixed, so now I can actually but let's put it this way. My car's been vandalized so much. Tasha and I both know if we ever need to valet, we valet her car. My car stays at home. My car's not good enough to valet. I've got a broken handle. I've had sledgehammers. My car has been under assault if you followed me for the last year. Yeah, I think Penn and I will be good friends. You know, I think Penn and I... Jessica Lee says, Penn can bag me.
Careful who you bang.
Be careful who you bang. Okay, but I guess you can go for Penn. You know, actually, I don't talk about this in a way to brag because there's nothing to brag about here. But Tasha and I used to do background work in New York City. It's actually how we met. And we used to do a ton of background work on Gossip Girl. But actually, Gossip Girl doesn't pay, even though it's union, it's got a weird specific contract. So they actually don't pay as much money as other projects. So everyone would always try to avoid working on Gossip Girl because it was always the same like thing where it's so-and-so Sweet 16. And it's like, great. You know what I mean? Awesome. So that means I'm going to have to spend 15 hours fake dancing in the background as some spoiled brat gets a 3-tiered birthday cake. Dave, you cut the sound effects too soon. It sounds like a glitch. Oh, just when I do that? Yeah. Well, sometimes it's a little loud for people. It's Serena or Blair. I don't know. We've done so much background work in my day. There isn't if you were to look for it at a movie that was filmed in New York City in the 2010s. No, from 2007 to 2014. I mean, every single movie. It's just how you made your living. You'd show up at 5 a.m. somewhere, you'd work, punch in your union card, not really punch it in, you'd work on different projects. It was always the same. Which area of LA did you guys move to? Hills, east of downtown? It's near downtown. It's just as close to downtown as we used to be. Natalie says, sorry, I'm late. I was on the Peloton. Natalie, that is the most humble brag way for being late I've ever heard. That's going to be my new excuse. Sorry, guys, I'm late to the stream. I was on my Peloton, that really expensive piece of equipment I can afford. No worries. Don't worry about me. It was just bicycling to a 20-inch flat screen. Thank you so much for showing up there. Maybe I should be a Peloton live streamer. Is there a market there for me? Get on Peloton and just start ranting about things? I don't know, maybe not. Did you see the Instagram story of Evan posting screenshots of Carly's text messages? I've been doing, if you could only see the amount of screen grabs I have going at any given time. So I was doing a little deep dive into Evan because I've always thought he was creepy. Do you remember on Bachelor in Paradise, he like fake passed out so that he could like get a kiss or something? Like, real creepy stuff, but then he falls in love with Carla, whatever her name is. And then I'm like, all right, well, maybe it was just a bit. Maybe he's fine. But anyway, here he was just a couple years ago. He got sued or forced to pay $150,000 over ads for his erectile dysfunction clinic. Which is very interesting. Did you guys hear this story? He had allegedly deceptive advertising for his erectile clinic. So they boned him and he had to pay $150,000, which maybe that's not a lot for this type of thing. I don't know. I feel like I've got a friend, Abby Reed says, OMG, Dave, read my message. Tears. Your message on where? In the chat? Did I miss something? Abby Reed said, Dave, did you see the Instagram story of Evan posting screenshots of Carly's text message? Oh, okay. You said, I read your message, not read my message. Got you. Oh yeah, Abby. We have several Abbies in the chat room. This is getting very complicated for me. That's one of those white girl names you never know how to spell, like Allison or Caitlin or Abby. I guess, because Abby can be A-B-I, A-B-B-I-E, A-B-B-Y, A-B-B-E-Y. Abby Road looking at you. Abbies, you got to get your stuff together. Which one is it? Us Daves over here, we keep it real. Abby Thomason keeps it short. She's a 3-letter first name. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. Yeah, he's a strange dude, I don't know. I wanted to give him the benefit. And then Carly, she's got her own YouTube, right? What's her name? Carly Waddell? Let's go to her YouTube. She's got a little vlog channel happening. So let's go check that out. I heard she's getting back into singing, which is nice. I think I'm spelling her name wrong. Let's see if we can get her singing. Another do-it-yourself fail. More kids, dating. I wish of all the Bachelor people that have huge YouTubes, I wish it would be nice if Carly's could get some love, because I feel like she's a sweetheart. Not a humble brag here, but clearly she needs to come on the channel here. Come on, Carly, let me help you out. She had a story sort of go viral about working on a cruise ship, and did you guys hear that one? I can't play it. You'll have to check out her YouTube. I think she does a good job with her YouTube too. Look at that. That had almost 250,000 views. So clearly, Carly has to learn. You got to put Bachelor in the subject title here. Sarah says, one of my pet sitting clients had a Peloton. I was spoiled, but now at my current cat sitting job has a hot tub. So many Bachelorette dates to happen. Sarai, I would not trust the hot tub of someone who owns cats. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. Not at all. Should we do some voicemails? Let me make sure. I don't even know if I have the voicemail button up. You guys are going to have to bear with me. So yeah, so you saw on my Instagram, I was late for that audition. I had to run it myself. So I ran the audition kind of the same way I run my live stream. What I should have done in the audition was like, this is the reason you need to capture me. I should have really gave them a good reason to hire me. But to be honest, it's like at this point, I don't even want these stupid roles anymore. It was like 2 lines. You know what I mean? 2 lines. Get the voicemail number up. Let's see if we're connected here. We'll play some voicemails. Yeah, I can't believe I lost you guys earlier. That's going to be weird. This was, is this chat even monetized? Hold on a second, folks. If anyone wants to call in, this is your chance. I think we're sort of light on the call-ins. Last week was insane, guys. Insane. I had to spend 3 extra hours responding to calls, and that was only the calls that were less than a minute long. It was just absolutely insane. I'm setting up my Bluetooth right now. We'll get this thing going in a second. So feel free to call in if you guys have anything you want to say, any thoughts or any love you want to spread. I've been getting again, I'm not saying this to okay, well, let's do this right now. I'm not saying this to okay, let's start this over. I'm not saying this to have anyone have any pity on me, but it's surprising to me that after years of not having content that's like gets shared or, having only a small amount of eyeballs on my stuff, it's weird to me now when a whole like subreddit conversation will be about how people don't like me. Again, don't bash at all this Instagram. I appreciate when people call me out on the way I'm saying something, or if they don't agree with me on something. I appreciate that, but at the same time, it's still like I'm still not prepared when it happens. So when I get like today, when I got a message from Maggie, she sent me a text message on Twitter or whatever, and then when she posted this video, I was like, oh, that's so great, I got some love. But then the second you get that, I got like 8 of these in a row. Again, don't hate on this person. Give them a follow. Eat.pray.gossip. Just calling me out to my core. So she calls me tone deaf. And like, I'm not saying conflated. Too close on my face, by the way. So you guys know me. Again, I've talked, I don't know, 50, 100 hours. I don't even know at this point about all angles of everything that's going on. I've taken calls from anybody and everybody, from Pakistan to Seattle. So when some people said that they were watching my videos with a skeptical eye, I was like, all right, cool. Like, I'm going to talk it out. And if I change my opinion with new information, I've got no problem there. I'm not married to anything specifically. But I think I've kind of said my piece on all of it. Again, so listen to yourself take to Rachel and her being hurt by all of this, and then you disregard for Matt's pain because he's older and was in the driver's seat. Again, so tone deaf, bro. Again, I'm okay with the criticism. I wrote back this Instagram account, and then I asked them if there was anything that they wanted to like specifically. Hold on, let me find it. I mean, I'm getting so many messages. It's so great. But I said basically, what happened was I respond to things people say, right? So Billy Bush asked Rachel Lindsay, something like, hey, was this a societal pressure on Matt James to make this decision, or was it from his heart? So I was like, I went with that. And then I said, let me know if you want to Skype or phone in and provide any counterpoints. I'm always willing to have a conversation. So it's not even, and again, I'm not treating this as a haters gonna hate thing, but I appreciate that. So I'm not treating it as a haters gonna hate thing, and also, if people disagree with me, that's fine. Share it, blast it, say your point of view. But the hard part with this, the reason I specifically go on YouTube is because some of these conversations take a long time to get your point out. Sometimes they're complicated. So when someone posts something, like someone on Reddit or somewhere posted something being like, basically Dave said this, if you can conflate someone's hour-long Q&A down to 3 sentences, you're probably not going to get it right. So anyway, we've heard a lot, and so I'm going to respond to some of the things that this account had asked me to respond on. I'd love to share my opinion. We've heard a lot about relating to Rachel Kirkconnell and her family, but have we tried to understand what it would mean to be Matt's mom? Now, I will give you that. I have not talked about how tough it must be to be Matt's mom. I can't imagine what it's like to raise Matt and his brother. I can't imagine what it's like to go through this scenario. The only thing that's difference between Matt's mom and Rachel Kirkconnell's mom in this scenario is that I don't think people are vilifying Matt the way they are Rachel. I could be wrong. It's completely different. I sympathize with both moms because every mom, they got the kid with the bumper sticker, my kid's the best. Every mom wants to see their kid in their best light. So when that goes to the internet, like when people don't like your kid, that would be heartbreaking for a mom. Are you kidding me? So as far as how is it to be Matt's mom, I have no idea, but I can only imagine it's very difficult. He has never been in love before, just like Rachel. This is also his first real heartbreak. I've talked extensively about this. I've talked extensively about the fact that Matt was ignorant to how to break up and follow up with Michelle. If you want to take race out of it, just talk about Michelle. He was ignorant about that. So I think I've talked a lot about that. Maybe not in the video you watched, but I'd be making 10-hour-long videos. I've talked a lot about how, and again, I'm not saying this to be defensive. This isn't like point, counterpoint type of thing, but I've talked a lot about how Matt made a lot of rookie moves. He didn't try to get in touch with Michelle after breaking up with her. Absolutely. He was already in such a vulnerable spot. First time on the show, opening up, talking about emotions, talking to his dad. No, and I have blamed the producers for putting him in a spot where they put the weight of the world on his shoulders. Absolutely. I agree with you on that. The levels of betrayal Matt must have felt to walk away. Try to understand and articulate that. For Matt to love Rachel the way he did and still break it off with her, I can only imagine how hurt he must feel. Which brings me back to my other question, which was, it's one thing to cope with a relationship that the world doesn't know about. It's another thing when everyone wants to interject their point of view. So I can't imagine. I don't think anyone's ever prepared to be in that situation. The emotional labor, the realization that the person you love does not see you or your experience as you're navigating a difficult space enduring Black Lives Matter. Yeah, because we haven't broken down exactly what has been said between Matt James and Rachel Kirkconnell, I can only imagine even what would come off as, I can't, in any situation, having that conversation would be a ton of emotional labor. I think a lot about emotional labor. I'm held to a pretty high standard in my relationship when it comes to emotional labor with my fiance. We do so many gender role flipping. I'm the cook. I do all the laundry. We don't play by any of the old school rules of emotional labor. The woman does all the bills, whatever it might be in different houses. Hi, honey, where did I leave that? It's under your thing. That's emotional labor, right? And obviously, I can't relate to Matt James' scenario of trying to explain things he's probably never had to explain to a significant other before, right? Matt probably, Susie Hart says, Dave, I love your ability to empathize. Well, Susie, I just feel like I don't want to be misinterpreted, but at the same time, I'm not mad at Eat, Pray, Gossip. I was hurt. I'm always hurt if you're going to see yourself. I'm like, oh, someone screen grabbed me. I looked, I'm like, whoa, geez. Oh, Ben, you're so kind. Is that New Zealand, Ben? Jesus. Wow, 50 New Zealand dollars. Dave, really enjoy your channel. Here's a small donation so you can take Tasha out for a slap-up meal or order takeout. You work too hard. Regards, Ben in New Zealand. Oh, Ben, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Ben. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to barrel through this. So emotional labor. Yeah, I can't begin to understand what it's like on Matt. And I'm not saying, maybe you've watched every video of mine and you still think, oh, I'm bigoted. I'm thinking a certain way. I'm closed-minded. I think they went through a terribly tough situation. I watched the show just like everybody else. I've spent the last couple months yelling at my TV, crying, shedding tears when we see not Rachel Kirkconnell, and then when we see Matt James with his silence. I feel for him. I've had a few people post like, "Oh, it sneaky feels like Dave doesn't like Matt James," and I'm like, I don't know if I've got this a-hole face that's not empathizing with people correctly, but Matt James, I totally understand the world that has been put on, the weight of the world has been put on his shoulders, unfairly so. So you said, it's more than love can get through anything. Systemic racism isn't some disease that just happens to some people, referring to a few of your analogies. It's so much more. Yeah, so I agree with you there. I agree with you that love can get through anything is a very simple way to look at a scenario. I admit it. I'm like a Nicholas Sparks kind of guy. You know what I mean? I'm build the home, fight for them. If you're a bird, I'm a bird. And obviously, if it comes to bigotry or ignorance or emotional labor with somebody you love, I can't imagine what that would do to your thoughts of thinking you were in love. And it's almost like the more you love somebody, the harder you can fall if they slip up. So yeah, I get that. Absolutely. Think about that initial conversation he had with her about this. That's where things shifted. So this gets interesting. You provide a lot of great points. I'm going to try to barrel through this. You said he had the very harsh realization that they were operating at very different levels of understanding. Many people think love is it, and if you love a black man, that means there's no way you can hold racially biased beliefs or not understand their case, when that is not the case at all. I couldn't agree with you more. Absolutely. All the people that say, but she fell in love with a black guy. How could she be right? I totally, two different apples and oranges. Lemons and limes. Being attracted and falling in love interracially was never the issue. I agree. There's inherent work and awareness one needs to approach, be in, and even thrive in interracial relationships. It's irresponsible to not know or do the work for that. Matt was naive. These are conversations they should have had in the fantasy suite. These are the types of conversations Rachel Lindsay has been vocal about having in the fantasy suite, along with credit and debt conversations. Oh, that's interesting. A credit and debt conversation. Yeah, that's great. Matt, my fiance and I had to do a lot of work to get on the same page with how we thought about money, because I've always been the kind of guy who's like sweat equity, do a lot of work for free, and then, try to have it all pay off. And she's kind of been more of a practical person with money. Together, we've taken, I think, the skill sets that we both have and made it really work. But absolutely, that's a great conversation to have. There is so much to unpack with Matt's upbringing and the fact that he grew up in the South and has tried very hard to assimilate and be the acceptable black man in a white society. He even said that what she said triggered him and reminded him a lot of terrible experiences he had in the South and has tried to suppress. And it's also a lot of the things we've talked about with Taylor Nolan, and a lot of self-hatred that people feel from trying to assimilate into a culture that doesn't accept them for who they are. Just like Emmanuel Acho says, they would compliment him and say, oh, you speak well for a black guy. Those stories that you hear about are heart-wrenching because it forces you to learn and grow up in a society that almost doesn't want to respect you until you conform to who they are. So I can't imagine, I can only vocalize and say that it must be hard, but I can't imagine what that would feel like. It would be great to see the same effort to understand the historical and societal impacts Matt has had. He also has emotions and has been forever changed by this experience. I totally agree. Rachel is a sweet girl, as are a lot of people, and has a lot to learn about life, love, and race in America. That's Rachel Kirkconnell you're talking about. Imagine someone, okay, so this is where it ends. Imagine someone you're trying to hug, stabs you in the gut, twists it, while saying they don't understand why it's hurting. And then people start saying that you must just not really love them enough because you don't want to bleed out and have to explain why stabbing you at your most vulnerable was or is an issue. It's killing you to stay with the peeps that you love, while they don't understand that they're hurting you. And there are landmines everywhere that they don't understand and how and why they're dangerous to you. I completely agree with your analogy, and I do struggle to sort of like put myself in those shoes. Everyone has been in a relationship where we feel like we have been abandoned. And again, by no means can I relate it to their relationship. But I do have to say, and I'll end it with this, I totally understand and I appreciate you taking out the time to explain a lot of that to me. I'm not saying that we don't have disagreements, but I think we're closer than, like if you and I were just sitting down having a coffee or a Diet Dr. Pepper or a Diet Coke, I think we would both leave a conversation going, oh yeah, we're closer than we think. But we kind of hold on to these ideas that like I'm so pro Rachel Kirkconnell. No, I just see someone whittling away, losing all of her weight kind of, and I feel bad for her. And then on a second, completely different compartmentalized piece of my brain, I feel horrible for Matt James for his position. And I think we struggle to have those mutual feelings. So of course you can find clips of me sympathizing with Rachel Kirkconnell, but it does nothing to say I don't feel for Matt James. I don't know. Maybe I'm tone deaf. I don't know. But I do appreciate you sharing my channel, and I do appreciate you messaging me. And most times when I talk to people, especially when it's like in person, or at least like it's better for me to respond on camera than it would be for me to send out a text, because I think we have to do a lot of work in any conversation we all have to understand that the other person's operating from a good place. And I think a lot of times, like what happened this past week, I think a lot of people on certain like internet sites look at me and think I'm operating from a bad place. Like I've got Rachel Kirkconnell's mom in my Rolodex. No, I just think we owe it to discuss a complicated conversation. All right. Lots of comments. The voicemail number is right above my head. Let's see if we can get to some voicemails. I do thank you so much. And again, eat, pray, gossip. I'm going to follow you right now. I do appreciate you. And I hope you didn't take any of my responses as being rooted in a like place of like rigid defense. I think I feel really bad for Matt James if I don't show it. Like if there's instances where it doesn't look like I feel bad for Matt James and I'm taking Rachel Kirkconnell's side. No, I'm a guy. I get heartbreak. I've been heartbroken. I'm that guy who's, I've gotten ghosted and lost 15 pounds and I can't even eat at a panini grill. And then all of a sudden the birds chirp and you get back out there. I've spent the last 7 years of my podcast talking about relationships and how complex they are. Unfortunately, with this situation, with race involved, that becomes a place where like, look, I don't pretend that I can speak to that. Elysia says, I hope you don't feel like you have to explain this because so many more of us know you're not tone deaf. No, it's okay. And it's not, like I said, it's not so much me being defensive so much as I do appreciate if someone's absorbing my content and they don't absorb what I intend. That's like a bad conversation, right? If Tasha is offended by something and I wasn't trying to be offensive, rather than keep on saying, Tasha, quit being offended, it's like, okay, what part of this was offensive? So it feels like the part that was offensive was that you didn't hear me empathizing enough with Matt James, to which I apologize because I am very empathetic to his situation. They put him in a bad scenario. They were playing with fireworks here, guys, and they didn't have the technician. You know what I mean? They didn't handle this near. So when it comes to Michelle, they better get what together, because Michelle, we cannot let Michelle have anything but a stand out situation. I want Michelle. Didn't she just post someone posted a photo of her and was like, they were just like, oh my gosh, it was just amazing. Hold on a second. Let me find it over here. But Michelle is just, my question is, what's going to keep her single? If you're a guy and you're not on Bachelor, you think you would be fighting to get Michelle's information and take her out on a date. She is a catch. Katie is too, but we're not talking about Katie here. Let's go. Let me pull this up here. This is Michelle. So this is just, leave some on the plate for the rest of us. The most beautiful woman, the one who isn't afraid to be herself. You kidding me? We're going to have a fun fall, folks. We're going to have a fun one. Absolutely. She's a sweetheart. National treasure. All right, let's play a voicemail. It gives me a chance to catch my breath here. And let's get in touch with all of you fine people. Here we go. Let's see who we got on the voice. It says I don't have a voicemail since Saturday. I don't really believe that. Is that true? Let's see. Oh, no, these are text messages. Oh, I'm sorry. I was in the... Here we go. 423. Zach from Edmonton. Let's start off with Zach.
Hey, Dave. It's Zach from Edmonton. Me and my girlfriend are big fans. Keep up the good work.
Wow, Zach. I appreciate a 6-second voicemail. Thank you so much for that, Zach. Absolutely. Let's go over here.
Hey, Dave. It's Aurelia, Tropical Aurelia calling again. Last time I called, it sounded like a total Valley girl, so I'm going to avoid that, but I think I've already fudged that up. Anyway, I don't have anything really to say about The Bachelor, but I have a riddle if you want to hear that.
I love a good riddle.
How old, Dave, would you be if you were born 12 years ago? Try to figure it out.
Wait, say that. Wait, hold on. Let's play that one more time.
Bachelor, but I have a riddle if you want to hear that. How old, Dave, would you be if you were born 12 years ago?
If I was born 12 years ago,
Thanks.
Wouldn't I be...
Okay, you hang up. No, you hang up.
Oh, I like that. I'll do that again.
Thanks. Okay, you hang up. No, you hang up.
No, you say bye. Tasha, are you home? Hi, Tasha. Tasha's here, everybody. Everyone say hi to Tasha. So the riddle is, how old would I be if I was born 12 years ago? Is the answer 12? Can we get someone in the comment section? Am I playing this right? Am I playing this right? Let's go to another one. I'll see if I can figure that out.
Michigan?
Hold on. I lost you there. Oh, here we go. Here's Brianna.
Dave, it's Brianna from Santa Cruz calling. I'm here with my mom right now, and we were just wondering if you also heard through the Reddit grapevine that Bao, our hunky Asian fan favorite contestant that's supposed to be on Katie's season, has already been removed and eliminated from her cast. I can't understand why. It seems like he was just so enjoyed by everyone already, but curious to know whether or not you heard that. Curious about your theories. Hopefully he's being saved from Michelle. Can't see what the other problems would be. Anyways, just wanted to ask you that, and I wanted to ask you if you had any first impression rose predictions. All right, take care.
Oh, interesting. Hello, Brianna and Brianna's mom. First impression rose predictions. I don't have any of those yet. Once there's a finalized cast, see, right now they just have like 35 guys, and some of these men won't make it to Katie's season. Some will either be cut, or actually what the case is now is some of these guys will be saved for Michelle. So it could have very well been that Bauchowski over here, that's his username, Bauchowski, people are saying that he either got cut on night 1 from Katie's season, or he might be saved for Michelle's season because his account went off of private. So we don't know, guys. We don't know. I'm going to guess that he's going to be on Michelle's season. I can't imagine, unless he's just, we're just looking at people's photos. If there's a chance that he's just a awful human being, maybe she cut him. But you'd like to think that he's got a nice aura to him. You know what I mean? The guy looks like he's pretty cool, good-looking dude. Is that a B on his shirt? He's got the B for Bauchowski. Bauchowski, thanks for the birthday wishes, everybody. I feel so loved and grateful. That was actually a couple of years ago there, so these are some old photos. By the way, rocked a bowl cut. I got a whole bit about the bowl cut. When I was this age, I also had a bowl cut, but I used to call them infinity bangs. I try to be cool. Call them infinity bangs. So yeah, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen with Bauchowski, but we'll have to see. Let's go over here.
Handle the truth.
To our favorite.
Hey, Dave. It's Abby Thomason. You can't handle the truth. That's right. I just really wanted to thank you for the video you did earlier today on miscarriage. I know I kind of gave you a shout out and thank you already, but I just thought it was amazing. I went through a miscarriage about 2 weeks ago with my first baby, and it was really, really hard. And actually watching your videos and doing videos with you during that time was a great distraction for me. But actually randomly seeing that you did a video on this topic and how well you handled it, how sensitive you were, and how you kind of just legitimized what I've been going through and what many other women have been going through was amazing. And it honestly makes me choke up. I just I really appreciated it, and I wanted to thank you. So keep up the good work, and I'll be watching. Bye.
You can't handle the truth.
Abby Thomason, everybody. You're going to give me... You're trying to do to me, Abby. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the law, Abby Thomason. Lots of prayers go out to you, our friend over there. Tasha, you around? Tasha? You're busy? Tasha, did you hear that New Zealand just signed a law to have a 3-day bereavement leave for miscarriages? Seems reasonable. First country to do that. Did you know that? So I made a video today about it, and it's tough. It's tough to talk about. Just trying to destigmatize the conversation around. Wait, you want to come in real quick? We got a good chat over here. I'd love if Abby, if you don't, I just love to play this because I just played it and I'm gonna play it again. But if you, this is just our friend Abby over here sharing with us because it's powerful. It's hard to share. I made a video about this right here about how Ari and Lauren talked about it. Sorry guys, Tasha's here. Have a seat. I know. Tasha's gonna take her jacket off. Part of what we love about Abby is that she's so helpful to us as a legal scholar. Let me just move you over here. I tell you what, let me play this for you, Tasha. It's kind of heavy, you know, but that's what we're here for, right? So I just played this. We'll play it one more time.
Hey, Dave. It's Abby Thomason. You can't handle the truth. That's right. I just really wanted to thank you for the video you did earlier today on miscarriage. I know I kind of gave you a shout out and thank you already, but I just thought it was amazing. I went through a miscarriage about 2 weeks ago with my first baby, and it was really, really hard. And actually watching your videos and doing videos with you during that time was a great distraction for me. But actually randomly seeing that you did a video on this topic and how well you handled it, how sensitive you were, and how you kind of just legitimized what I've been going through and what many other women have been going through was amazing. And it honestly makes me choke up. I really appreciated it, and I wanted to thank you. So keep up the good work, and I'll be watching. Bye.
Big fan of Abby. I mean, what you have to think by talking about and normalizing it, that it helps you recover. I mean, imagine not being able to. I mean, not saying people should.
Yeah, that's part of the grieving process.
So for New Zealand to say 3 days, because apparently a lot of people use sick days, and not to say 3 days is a lot, but I'm sure that's on top of 5 weeks. I'm sure they've got 5 weeks paid vacation or whatever it is. So it must be nice for people to know that in a tough situation, when times are tough, that that's not your next thought isn't, I got to show up for work tomorrow. It's almost just what are we if we're not just humans trying to bring our best self to work?
Yeah, and support. I mean, that's a big thing. How do you show your employees and your citizens, because they made it a law, that you care for them, that you see them as not just a cog in the machine?
And you and I have talked about, just men not knowing much about periods and this and that, and it's, maybe it's changing now, but when I grew up, it was like I said in the video, the guy runs, the girl would run around huddled with her friends with a tampon stuck in their, purse, and they would run around and everyone, it's like
hiding it up your sleeve.
Yeah, like you're broken or something. We're all broken, but it is, like you said, 1 in 4 people have miscarriages.
I think
it's higher.
No, it's a 1 in 4 pregnancies results in miscarriage.
Right, and a lot of people don't even know they're pregnant when it happens, because a lot of times it'll happen in the first few weeks. But anyway, so it's good to see that Lauren and Ari talked about it, and Ashley Spivey, and also I mentioned other people like Chrissy Teigen, and of course our good friend Abby. So we appreciate you, Abby. People are commenting Tasha for president. So We'll have to see about that. We'll have to have an election. Tasha versus Dave. I'll be your running mate. I know I kind of sprung this on you. You're just getting inside, but how was your day?
It was okay.
Just okay?
It's fine.
Better than my Uber ride with Mr. Chatty Pants. I always feel bad for these Uber drivers.
You were probably a chatty Uber driver.
Yeah, you get so alone, and then you get a ride, and you're like, let me tell you about life. And it's like, buddy.
So there you go. Have some compassion. The poor guy was probably lonely.
Speaking of New Zealand, we got a nice 50 spot.
Wow.
Read what that says. Take Tasha out for a slap-up meal or order takeout. I don't know what a slap-up meal is, but it sounds like noodles. A slap-up meal sounds like we're getting noodles.
Awesome.
So how sweet is that?
Thank you so much.
Tasha for the new season of Schitt's Creek. Absolutely. Ew, Dave.
Ew, David.
I think you can go, ew, Dave. I think that's not.
Oh, you just got another
Oh,
one.
Anjali, thank you so much. Oh, boy, easy over there. Thank you so much for that. And Zach's sister had a miscarriage, and she posted about it in a link, and it was heartbreaking. You got to think that with social media, that is the next frontier of normal. Like the Me Too movement was about sharing your story to let everybody know that they're not alone. So, you got to think most men aren't pieces of crap. Most men want to be supportive. It's just one of those, we talked about emotional labor. It's one of those things that, like, if a guy thinks that the wife or his girl has to talk to her friends about it only, and it's this hush hush thing, he might not show up to a conversation he might otherwise be a part of. So
yeah, and I think not having it in schools, not having it like in the public sphere in common conversation makes guys underinformed, and then because they're underinformed, I mean, not that guys generally don't just think that they're experts on everything, but maybe they just don't know what to say and they don't want to look dumb.
Well, but I remember my health class, they would split the men and the boys and the girls up. So we would learn about balls, whatever, I don't remember what we learned. Whatever. And then the girls would learn about whatever they learned about. And then we were just forced to assume, I'm in the Encyclopedia Britannica trying to figure out what an ovulation is. I still don't know. I'm tracking the charts. I'm looking at astrology, trying to find out when I don't know these things. It's wild. Total ignorance. And it's not willful. It's just like, you learn as you go. You guys, Tasha asked me to buy tampons once, and I'm not the type of guy who's like, oh, I'm so scared to buy tampons, but I don't know what I'm getting. So I go, tell me the color. I'm there. I'm in the aisle. I go, honey, there's like 30 colors. There's a whole rainbow. She goes, get the purple, right? You call them purple?
Yeah, light is purple.
Well,
regular is yellow.
Well, let me tell you something.
Super is green.
And maybe Maxie or whoever it is that makes this, I don't know. So whoever makes tampons out there, you need to do a better job of your different colors, because light purple is light on one end of the tampon spectrum, and then one shade darker purple is heavy load. Heavy flow. So I got Tasha like wide set,
I didn't know that.
brawny paper towel tampons. And I was happy as a client. Well, I got them for you, honey. Here you go. And it's like, what are you doing? I was like, yeah, you said purple. I got purple. I was so excited to get purple.
But it was super plus.
Super plus. So if anyone needs a super plus tampon, we got an extra box out here. Try to help you out. Anyway, I won't keep you. We got another. I'll do another little bit here because my stream died in the middle, so I had to start over.
It was nice to see everybody.
Thanks for joining us, Tasha. All right, Tasha, Courtney, everybody. Are we doing Thai leftovers? Is that what the deal is?
We're going to dig into those right now.
Oh, Tasha likes to eat food when I'm here. I gave Boone half a meal earlier because he was going nuts when I was leaving. So I gave him half a meal just to calm him. If you guys have been following my Instagram, I've been cooking the dog salmon and sweet potatoes because he's a spoiled brat. And he's actually had a pretty bad skin problem. So we're trying to fix it by getting him some healthy salmon, which has some good oils in it. All right, where are we at, folks? Where are we at? I was not a silent Uber driver. Tosh and Dave in the Super Plus. That's right. Nothing like a good flow. How's that conversation going? Good flow. Oh, Oz, let me get into you. Oh, Oz, I was right next on you here. Let's go to Oz on the voicemail. You're right up next, the sheriff.
This is the sheriff here. I just want to say that Maggie is a true inspiration, and I hope to see her on on BIP, and she's a true inspiration to humankind for everything that she's doing with her charity and giving people all over the world shoes. It just puts everything in perspective. She's an amazing person, and I hope she gets a bigger platform and more followers on IG. And I hope for her to be the main storyline on BIP. So have a good one, everyone. We'll talk soon. Okay, bye.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, Maggie, you know, she's. It's too bad. I mean, you know, maybe she just didn't hit it off with Matt. You know, I played it in. I think I played a clip of this, or I read from the Marie Claire article. But she comes from like a conservative upbringing. So for her, you don't just make out with a guy. So I think naturally her type is more laid back. Like, she's, no offense to Brittany Galvin, you know, everyone do you, but Brittany Galvin walked out of the limo and just started necking, if you know what I mean. That's what the kids call making out with Matt James. Whereas Maggie says, like, look, that just wasn't going to happen, because a lot of people have asked, like, why she didn't, pursue any love in any other way. Hey, Tasha, Ashley Barker says, ladies, get a menstrual cup. You will thank me. Is that that little device thing? Yeah, that's what I've been Boy, you wanna freak me out. You got a menstrual cup now? Do they have an Amazon link for that? Can you imagine if I start peddling if I become the menstrual cup? It looks like a little it looks like cup, but it looks like a little what do you call those? The beer bong funnels. It looks like a littler funnel. You know? Anyway. Super green. Green, in the sense that you're not throwing things away. Yeah, well, it's not green when your fiance walks in and doesn't know what it is, and he thinks an alien's crawling up the wall. Looks like an octopus got thrown against the drain. It's very nice. All right, let's go to Ohio here. We love Ohio. This is Michelle.
Hey, this is Michelle from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm reading from my notes again to keep it short. Just wondering what your thoughts are regarding Jay Leno's apology to the Asian community for his years of racist jokes, and Kenya Moore from the Real Housewives of Atlanta and the Bravo Network apology for her racist and or racially insensitive use of the Native American indigenous people's clothing, wearing them as Halloween costumes. I'm hearing cricket from the woke Bachelor Nation podcasters, and that includes Rachel Lindsay. What do you think?
Very interesting. You know, I haven't listened to the Jay Leno thing. Jay Leno, and I'm not making any excuses for him, his style of humor is so, I don't want to call it hack, because I think he actually is really funny. I actually have gotten to enjoy him more so now than when I first started doing comedy, because I realized how hard comedy can be. So for him to come out and do 5-minute monologues every night, even with a team of writers, is really impressive. With that said, Jay Leno, he did apologize to the Asian community for years of racist jokes. I'm not prepared to make that video just for a lack of information. So let me look into it more and all that. Like I said, the least I can do is get my facts right before looking into it. But you know, he made a lot of jokes about Monica Lewinsky. So I think he operated from, you know, Jay Leno came up in the 70s. I mean, he was in the show I'm Dying, the book I'm Dying Up Here, and not in the show because they had to fictionalize the characters, but in the book I'm Dying Up Here, it's a memoir about the Comedy Store and comedy going up in the 70s and 80s. And this dude was like a legend from his early days. He's been in comedy for like 30 or 40 years, and times have changed. It used to be the punchline would be a math joke or a car driving. This is how it was. It doesn't make it right. But Jay Leno, part of being a host on a TV show for years, is that there is a phone book stacked thick full of offensive things that he has said. He comes off in such a likable, affable way that I think people have given him a pass. That would be my assumption. I'll have to look into it more. Thank you so much for the call. I'm so happy to see everyone in the comment section being so kind and supportive. It does mean so much to me. You guys are all so great. Jessica Lee said, also, men need more participation in pregnancy. Why can't we lay an egg and they can sit on it and keep it warm? More effort. I love it. Absolutely. we're not in a place yet where that's the conversation we're having, but it's not far away. It's not far away, and absolutely. Tasha, people say that women lay the eggs and men have to sit on it. Tasha laughed. So that's what we got to do. I'll sit on an egg. Whatever you need me to do. Julie says, leave Rachel Lindsay alone. She's tired. Absolutely. Rachel Lindsay. I'm not going to call Rachel Lindsay out if she needs a little holiday. Absolutely. But thank you so much, Michelle from Cleveland. You always call with great points. I'm not one, and again, I think I don't know if you were making fun of the woke people because they pick and choose what conversations they want to have. But I think maybe part of it's like with someone like Taylor Nolan, who came at it from this moral superiority, it's easier to break down her hypocrisy versus like a comedian in his 60s or 70s. I think people just expect it more. I don't know. Jennifer, New Mexico.
Jennifer, New Mexico. So aside from that getting a crappy season with all the casting and the controversy, I've noticed something over the last few years on how the show is that they're adding way more contestants to the mix than I think is necessary. For the first 20 seasons or so, there was only 25 contestants, and no one was being added in after the first night. So now, for the last 5 seasons, they're starting with sometimes 30. And Matt got started with 32 plus the 5 that got added in later. And 37 is a lot. So I'm sure that has something to do with the fact that it was just so hard to get to know anyone this year. And remember that this is a show about finding love, but instead we're just watching Mean Girls for half the season. And I think the producers should reflect on their numbers and go back to the basics. 20 to 25 is perfect if they're not going to give us more episodes and less drama. And I just think it feels so extra lately. I'm interested in hearing what you have to say about this, so keep up the great Bachelor content. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you so much for calling in. Jen in New Mexico. Jen, are you over there at the resort? Do you have any info you can tell us? Let us know. Everyone in the comment section, say hi to Katie Thurston in the off chance she's watching. She's bored. She's over there. She forgot to bring the charger for the MJ, so she's forced to watch our live chat here. The reason there are more contestants on the last several seasons, I think, is because of the safety for the show to make sure if there's a pandemic, if they have to quarantine a dozen people, then they have people in the bullpen ready to go. That's what I think it is. Because, these shows, they cost $1 million a day to make. You know what I mean? I'm making that number up, but it's a lot of money. So time is money. And once the train leaves the train house, the train tracks, the home base, once the train gets going, you can't just pause it, So, and also, I wonder if insurance companies are letting COVID be, film and TV show do have insurance companies. Say Chris Harrison got really sick and they had to shut down for a week, they can take out an insurance claim. I worked on Glee when that happened, when an insurance claim happened, everyone had to go home, but everyone got paid. With the pandemic, you can't just throw in a couple new guys. They have to quarantine and this and that. So logistically speaking, I think they just decided, you know what, rather than having 22 people, let's bring in 32. And if God forbid a group date, whatever, even though they're all quarantined, God forbid something happens, they're covering their own bases. So that's what I think happened. All right, let's go to Florida and talk to Cynthia.
Hi, I'm in Florida. This is Cynthia, and I'm calling about the Matt James, Rachel Kirkconnell issue. For Rachel, the work she's doing would be great if she could get a message out to these fraternities to do something better for our world and to be helping people do ridiculous things like getting DUIs and doing stupid things. Like, look at Matt James, what he's doing for our world. He has lifted me up out of struggling with depression. What a bright light he is.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Cynthia. It's easy to be like, oh, fraternities have a bunch of DUIs and they're doing horrible things. Fraternities and sororities account for like 10 to 20% of student populations. It's easy to be like, oh, Delta Gamma did X, Y, and Z versus some random person in some dorm. But I think the problem is more across all of college. They're 18 to 22-year-olds. They've been told not to do some of these events. Now what has to happen is if you do an event that's illegal, you get a strike. And then after 3 strikes, usually the fraternity gets brought in front of a board or they get kicked off campus. There are repercussions. Did you write Birdman? Hey, someone's asking if I wrote Birdman, the movie? No, I did not write Birdman, the movie. That would be I wouldn't be, if I wrote Birdman the movie, I wouldn't be living in an apartment right now. I'll tell you that much. Here we go. Let's go to Anna in New Hampshire. Let's see what this is here. This is from a few days ago.
Hi, this is Anna from New Hampshire.
Hi,
and
Anna.
I'm calling to let you know how much I enjoy your show and to present a thought for you to perhaps respond to regarding Cassie Randolph's hiring the high-power entertainment lawyer and possibly making some money in her decision to drop the charges against Colton. I know that she and Colton were filming a reality TV show about their relationship and their breakup, and that after they stopped filming, she contacted people to try to sell that the footage that they had recorded together. I've always wondered if the Bachelor franchise might have bought that video from her in order to be sure that it didn't get sold to someone who would represent the franchise in a bad light. I'm pretty sure that they wanted the whole Cassie Colton debacle to disappear quickly. And it's just something I thought about and be very interested if you think it's worth exploring to see what your thoughts might have been. I do think that money changed hands, and if she can afford to get a house in Southern California, money might not be too big an issue, and perhaps came out of the lawsuit, the court action that she undertook with Colton and resolved. Thanks. Bye.
All right, Anna from New Hampshire. I am putting up this Weird Al Yankovic tinfoil hat out of respect for your question, not to make fun of it, because this is a conspiracy that you've brought to my attention. And you know me, when a conspiracy comes, I need another Diet Coke. This is fascinating. So I made a video the other day that Brian Friedman, power attorney Brian Friedman, represents Chris Harrison now. Maybe it's not official. Maybe that was just what they were leaking, for some leverage and making sure he doesn't get fired or whatever once the cat's out of the bag. But L-Dog, I did not write Birdman, the movie. But Tiffany Keller says, wait, why is Dave Googling tinfoil hats? Well, go with me, guys. I'll show you. The tinfoil comes in at this conspiracy theory. So the question is, Cassie had Brian Friedman as a lawyer. Cassie had enough evidence to convict Colton Underwood of placing a tracking device on her car, and probably, I think that's the main offense that she could have easily showed that, if she found a tracking device, which we saw the photos that she did, it would be very easy to point to where that tracking device was bought, who bought it, assuming it was somewhere on the internet, somewhere you could tie it back to Colton probably pretty easily. If you couldn't tie it back to Colton, say he was truly innocent, you'd think he would want to vindicate himself in a way in which he hasn't. So the question that Anna is saying here in New Hampshire is, did Cassie receive payment for the show her and Colton were making? I personally think it's way more likely that Cassie received payment from Colton Underwood to drop the charges. I think that's more likely. Oh, we just got a donation from Copenhagen. Thanks for bringing very important topics and stories to the light and for always reminding us on looking at more perspectives. Lots of empathy. Have to sleep now. 1 a.m. here. Have a nice evening. JJ, DKK 209. What the hell is DKK 299? I need to do a money exchange here and find out what that means, because DKK sounds like a lot. Currency converter. That's what I need to do a currency. Can someone help me out with this currency converter here? Let's see. If someone has $1 US, then what's a DKK? That sounds like that's a Danish krone. Well, thank you so much. So you sent me 209 Danish krones, $33. Thank you so much. I am bathing in Danish krones right now. Thank you so much, JJ. Are you watching over there in the Daneland, the Daneland of Copenhagen? Let me know. Thank you so much, and go get your sleep. I really appreciate it. Cassie was on a reality show before Batch, plus she models, so she may have had a down payment on her own, plus they get paid a lot of money for appearances. Yes, so Denmark money. So anyway, let me make sure we got Oz over here, the moderator Oz. Everyone make sure, I forgot to post this earlier when your phone call was in, but everyone, if you could give Oz cheddar, coin, bread in the tip jar, excuse me. He does a lot of hard work over there. And Oz, we are gonna get merch to you. I just don't have it yet, so it's coming to you, Oz. We got merch for you. We're gonna talk more about that. Are you Sarah? Are you over in Norway too? Boy, the Scandinavians are just really crushing it. Not that, well, whatever. You guys are all great. Boy, TJC, you've got a lot of pets. 4 cats, 3 dogs. Who cares what people say? My pets make me happy. Oh yeah, pets are great. Pets are the best. I mean, I'm feeding my dog salmon and peas. My dog's been going nuts for this human food I've been feeding him. I mean, the things we'll give our dog. We got to take care of these little fur balls. Anyway, let me make sure there's no other things here. I am going to get going relatively soon. Oh, geez, we got a couple more. Let's bang through these. I didn't realize all these new ones came in.
Dave, Lana from Texas calling. I was just curious to know if you did any coverage on Matt's return to Instagram and him removing all Bachelor content. Let me know what you think. Bye.
I didn't notice that he removed Bachelor content. I don't know if he had much on there in the first place, but I think he just took a few days off. But obviously, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Is there a story there? There's something there. I'll keep an eye on it. But I think it's healthy to just hit that button just to kind of go private for a day, get rid of your comments. I think that's great.
Hi, Dave. This is Michelle from New Jersey. And I just wanted to say I really enjoy your show.
Thank you.
That's it. That's all I got. All right. Thanks.
Hey, I'll take that. I'll take a nice quickie. Thank you so much. All right. I think you called back. I think Michelle's
Hey, Dave.
getting high.
This is Michelle from New Jersey again. I think you have a crush on Katie. Okay, you have a little crush on Katie, the new Bachelorette. And I was wondering what Tasha thinks of that. Tasha is gorgeous, and she seems so sweet. And I was just wondering what she thinks of your crush on Katie.
Tasha, do you think I've got a crush on Katie? You do? What do you think about it? I don't know. Tasha's, the commenter says, I don't think I've got a crush on Katie. I think I just appreciate somebody who's not a pageant queen calling it like it is. I don't think Katie would be my type at all, to be honest. I think that's where I'm yelling because Tasha's 2 rooms over. I think that's where it can become like I can be a fan or a stan, as the kids call it. You know what I mean? Can you hear me? I think Tasha's passed out after eating some Thai food over there. Danielle gave $10 since you want to do a national anthem. God bless America and God bless you, Dave Neal. Well, thank you so much, Danielle Bunker. Absolutely. No, but absolutely. Come on. I got a girl crush on Tasha. Are you guys kidding me? This is what I like about my relationship is I think we're okay sharing our feelings. And look, if Tasha was obsessed with a male contestant and she was yeah, sure, of course it'd be a little jealous, but yeah, like I said, Katie's cool. She's cool. Katie would be the type of person that we would be like, oh, Katie's someone asked me the other day, someone asked me today, I think I posted on Instagram. Oh, Tasha, can you hear me? I'm almost done. Tasha goes, somebody asked if Katie's invited to our wedding. And I said, she's the flower girl. I said, we're going to get her to be the flower girl. She's short. She can be the flower girl. No? Or you want to come back on or no? No, you don't want to come back on? Who's your bachelor pass? Like your hall pass? Do you have a, because I'll be honest, Katie wouldn't be my hall pass. If we were doing hall passes, like you got a guy you could sleep with, I'm just saying it wouldn't be Katie. And it's no offense to Katie if you're watching, Katie. We love you, Katie. It's no offense to Katie. I don't know who my hall pass would be. It'd be somebody like, JoJo? No, I don't think you think I like JoJo? I don't know. I don't know if I like JoJo. I don't know who mine would be. It would probably be, it's a good question. It would be like, it'd be someone like, I liked Brittany Galvin. I liked her. She was the girl who they kind of skank shamed, That's like somebody that's like, yeah, I don't know.
I can't think of a
You can't think of a single guy. Bennett, Ivan. There's a couple guys that you're like, woo. You're on Ben. You like Bennett?
I like the Bennett train for a little.
You were on the Bennett train.
I also think he was probably a little douchey.
You think he's a little douchey? It was so funny. Is Tasha like always like, that guy's so douchey? And it's like, have you not seen the guy you're marrying? Julia, at what point do you think I'm some sort of respect? Tasha says she's maxed out on her douchey threshold. You need extra absorbent douchey pads for me because I've got a douche flow coming at you. I got a purple level douche flow. What's it called? You don't start wearing your shirt unbuttoned. As long as I don't do the deep V? Well, I would if I had the body for it. That's the problem. Once I get the body for it, you're going to see a whole new level of douche. I just have to shame myself because I'm not there yet. Well, anyway, so I'm glad people are concerned if my crush on Katie's gone too far, but no, Katie's not my hall pass. You heard it here first, folks. Katie is not my hall pass. Natalie says, I would kill for a hall pass for Sean Booth. Well, there you go. Maybe he can wrap you up in his TRX cords. At that home gym of his. Abby says, okay, who's your hall pass, everybody? Let me know. Alicia says Ben. Ben's pretty cute. I didn't like Kenny on the show, but I sure appreciate his photos online. TJC is ready to bump some Harrisons with Kenny on the show. Yeah, Kenny was great. Kenny's got a body. Let me tell you. Tyler C, of course. Bibiana, she was cute. Mike Johnson is Emma's hall pass. JoJo's Ho-Hos, you heard it here first. That's an old one. Absolutely. JoJo was ready to go. She wasn't throwing down for nothing. Late, but I found my missing cat, Jamie. Glad you found your cat. I was a little worried for you. Lisa Reed loves Noah. Lisa Reed.
Who you bang?
Just be careful who you bang. David Beckham. Well, David Beckham wasn't on the show, but if you just want to throw out people for hall passes, by all means. Sophia says none of those dudes. Yeah, Sophia. You're so not a dude. Abby says, LOL, you're so not a douche. Abby, come on. Hold on, Abby. Listen for a second. Let me tell you something. When you live where I do, and trying to go back there. Oh boy. What did I do? Hold on, folks. Hold on. We're coming back. Oh no. I feel like I somehow made that happen. All right, folks. There it is. There I am. I messed it up. I'm on my B camera right now. I just messed it up. I was playing with the lens and I overheated it. All right, let me play these final few messages and then we'll get on out of here.
Hi, Dave. Hi, everybody. This is Susan outside of Seattle. I am avoiding cleaning my chicken coop this afternoon. But I want to remind you, Dave, and everyone else, there are the upsides and the downsides to being empathetic and caring. And, the fact that you care about, are people really hearing you fully, that's just part of what makes you who you are. And I would say you're doing a great job of, critical thinking, really listening, being open to different ideas, exploring, and being a great example for communication. So keep it up, and, we're all fans, so take care. Bye.
Susan, you're so sweet. Thank you. I guess the balance I need to make is how often do I address things? But with Eat, Pray, Gossip, I don't want to be defensive. I just want to address if I think I'm being misunderstood. And maybe I'm not, but I feel misunderstood because I do feel like I care about Matt James. I care about all these people. Who in their right mind wouldn't watch the show, root everybody on, and then not care about them? You know what I mean? Anyway, let's go. A couple more over here.
Hey, Dave. Matt from Utah. Big Bachelor fan here. Hey, I think the big reason why they have a big cast is just because of so many seasons that have been going on without a Bachelor in Paradise. But I'm just happy to have it back since my favorite Bachelor Australia in Paradise got canceled this year for who knows how long. But either way, as long as we get Abigail and some Bachelor in Paradise, I'll be happy.
Well, it sounds like, thank you so much. Matt from Utah likes Abigail. There you go. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for watching the channel, Matt. I appreciate you. I appreciate you calling in. Australia Bachelor in Paradise must be insane. That sounds like that would be a blast. All right, we got what I think is our last voicemail here. Cheryl from New York City.
Hi, Dave. It's Cher Bear from New York City. And I just wanted to say that I am a white woman. And I'm not a fan of cancel culture. However, I just don't see Chris Harrison coming back to the show. I'm just such a fan of Emmanuel Acho. And I feel like he did such a good job. It was so nice actually having a host that had empathy and showed emotion. Chris Harrison is just so stoic. And I just don't know if I can see him coming back from what he said. I lost all respect for him. And I think that Emmanuel Acho was the change that the show needed. I would love to see him come back. I would love to see, it just changes the whole vibe. It makes you feel like you're in someone's living room watching them have like a very personal conversation when the host shows the investment that Emmanuel showed. So I don't know, just curious, wanted to see what you thought also, and have a good night.
Thank you so much for the phone call. Share Bear, New York City. I think Emmanuel did a great job. I just don't think that they're going to stick with him. I love the idea of him coming back. I love the idea of a resident Emmanuel Acho like therapist type. I think Emmanuel Acho might be too big for the show to just be like that character. But yeah, I would love if they had separate content that didn't make it to the prime time, but even if they had separate content that became something that lived on in the stream, I think it would be great if they had more therapy talks, more talks about what we're feeling, what we're going through, tough conversations, absolutely. With regards to Chris Harrison, they're in a tough spot. They're in a tough spot because they can delay this. They can see if the story dies down. They can do whatever. But right now, people have their feet dug into the sand on whichever side they're on. I think the solution for the show could be to just go no host. As I reported this week, it looks like they're changing the wording of Tayshia and Caitlyn. I don't think they're calling them hosts. I don't know, I think they're trying to just be careful like what they do next, which is of course what the show does is like they don't take ownership over anything. They let things play out. They're very passive. They've created so much of the beast that they have to battle right now. They really have. But thank you so much for that phone call. It appears when I zoomed in on my face on the other camera, my hairline overheated the camera right there. So I'm going to let you guys go in a second. I wanted to address, thank you so much, Ash and Kirsten, $4.99. Great live as always. Love the idea of moving the Tuesday live streams up a bit, maybe into the normal Bachelor time slot while it's the off season. Yes, I'm making the announcement right now. Tuesdays in the off season, I'm moving to 4 p.m. live streams. I do like the late night ones. Maybe there'll be some nights where I go live unexpectedly late at night, but I need to make this more commercially viable. So I'm going to do a 4 p.m. Tuesday and a 4 p.m. Thursday. Are we all okay with that? Is that okay with you guys? SHD 1165 gave $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yes. Acho would be such a good host. It's going to be hard for Chris to compete now following Acho's performance. Absolutely. Jessica Lee says the show has turned into a toxic social, psychological experiment. Whoever hosts probably isn't doing themselves any favors. Yeah, I wouldn't want that job. CCC says, what did Leo say to you about being on the show? Did he like Bachelorette or Paradise more? And do you know Kendall? Leo and I, the only time we ever talked about Bachelor was on the podcast. So if you listened or watched the podcast, it's on my YouTube. That's the only conversation we ever had about it. I don't see Leo too often. Before COVID, I'd see him randomly doing some stand-up shows, but I haven't seen him in a while. I think he just doesn't want to deal with The Bachelor. Like, they kind of painted him out to be a certain way, and maybe they were right. I never saw Bachelor in Paradise. I don't know how it went down, but I think for the most part, he's a good guy, and I just think he doesn't want to. I think he's like past wanting to convince people otherwise. So he's just doing him. He was on, I had him on a stand-up show right before the pandemic hit, and some Bachelor fans came to see him, which was really cool to see. And as you guys know, if you hit the link in the description to join my mailing list, I'm going to be putting together a Bachelor-themed stand-up show when the world starts to open back up. I'm starting to do stand-up again. Just got my vaccine, and Tasha and I are going to be traveling. L-Dog. So yeah, L-Dog is talking about the David Dobrik information. L-Dog, the only reason I haven't made that video is I just need to do some more research. It's just not easy. It's easy for me to make the Bachelor videos because I'm so on top of the content, but it's I don't want to mess this up, so I'm definitely going to look at it. Maybe I'll make it for tomorrow and just talk about it, but I got to get a lot of media together for it. yeah, it's quite a fascinating story. And of course, David Dobrik is being represented by Brian Friedman. So Brian Friedman, like most lawyers, right, Abby, he's just taking whatever side wants to pay him, it seems. He's been on the female side of domestic issues, and now he's representing on the male side of domestic issues. Yeah, so very interesting. But anyway, let's do another episode. Maybe next week we'll do an actual hall pass episode where we can come in and defend our decisions. It'd be nice to do a hall pass episode where it's not like someone so obvious like Tyler. Like it would be fun to be like, all right, I'm going to tell you my hall pass. It's going to be really weird. It's going to be from 7 years ago. It's going to be, one of the twins, but not both, whatever the case may be. So my time zone is Pacific. I have 4 p.m. Pacific time zone. It's 5:24 right now. So I think I'll be doing a 4 p.m. live stream because there's no point for me to go live at 10 p.m. and then I'm drinking Diet Coke and I'm staying up too late and all that because, it is what it is. But we've only got a couple months in between seasons, so things are going to fly by. But let me see if there's any last. Oh, okay. Last two. Two voicemails. Then we're done.
Hey, Dave. This is Alicia from Chico, California. I know everything's a lot. Also, my daughter is driving around a car right now. Based around a lot of drama, a lot of things in the world, race and things. But I think that also things that are hard for people growing up, no matter what race you are, is drug addiction in parents and growing up. I've struggled a lot with drug addiction in my family, with my parents and stuff. And it's not something you have to cover or a topic you have to talk about, but we all have different upbringings, no matter what our race is. And it's just always hard to compare yourself to what someone else has been through and not knowing what we've been through and how we go through things in life. And just another way to think about things that we all go through things in life and it's just really hard to deal with, and accepting and adjusting to everyone who they are and how things go and what it's like. And it's just being compassionate for other human beings in the world. Sorry, it's a lot longer than you wanted, but I have a lot more about that, but I hope that made some sense and wasn't too long. Okay. Thanks, Dave. Bye.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and I'm sorry that you had to grow up and battle addiction. And yeah, of course, the deal with growing up and living life is that life's challenging for everybody. But the reason why like all lives matter, it doesn't make sense, is because we're not at a place where everyone's got equality. So I know, and I know that's not what you're saying. I know you're not saying all lives matter, so everyone's got it hard. But the idea is similar in that some people, even though life is so hard, still start a couple feet forward, closer to the goal by growing up in a better socioeconomic environment, by growing up in a place that's not food deserts, by getting a better education. Just by the color of their skin, some people have a better start. It doesn't mean that everyone's not going to have struggles. And I think that's where a lot of people become defensive because they go, well, life's tough for me too. I didn't grow up this way. And it's like, yeah, there's, 75% of our country is white. There's a lower white middle class that does not have the privilege of upper white middle class. But when they're looked at and prejudged, they're not thought of as lesser than. And unfortunately, that's what some people, that's where they're raised right now. So the issue is I can sympathize with you and understand that life is tough, man. Life is tough. And someone else sharing their struggle shouldn't take away from yours. And it's not necessarily like as tough as life can be. Some people still get benefits that others don't. All right, Sabrina in the Bay Area.
Hi, Dave. This is Sabrina from the Bay Area, California.
Sabrina, it's not okay. I'll play your voicemail, but everyone's been asking me the same question.
I was just wondering if you saw Ben Shapiro's video about Matt and Rachel. He actually made a good point. He said that at the very beginning, Matt came out and asked people to give Rachel some grace. And then after everyone found out what happened and was like turning against her, then Matt turned on her. I was just wondering if you had any opinions about that or if you watched that video. Okay, love your channel. Bye.
Sabrina, thank you so much. So I'll say this. I didn't watch the video, but somebody like Matt, we can't know how he got to the conclusion he got to. And somebody like Ben Shapiro does a good job of convincing his audience that because Matt turned at this point, he must think this. We don't know what he's thinking. He might have come to that realization because he realized the levity behind it all. You know, we just don't know. I haven't recapped Ben Shapiro's video because I don't want to deal with the hate that the left is going to give me for giving him the time of day. It's true. I don't want to. I don't want to deal with it. He comes with too much baggage. He might make, look, like I said before, a broken clock is right twice a day. He might make a couple points. You know what I mean? But he comes with so much baggage, I don't even want my name to be associated with him. Ben Shapiro is a raging racist. Says he makes no good points, and points he does make are made with racist intent. Sarah said, and look, I don't want to end the stream on this note, so let's just move on from it. But Jen Max says, thank you so much. Hit some Bumpy Harrisons for the algorithm. And yeah, so no, I understand. Like sometimes people can, you know, he's good at logical arguments. That's what he's good at. But what it doesn't take into account is that there's a lot of emotions involved. So you can't look at logical arguments the way you might look at a math equation. So just because Matt James changed his opinion after getting more information doesn't mean that it's because society was shaming him if he were to make the wrong choice. It means he got more information and made the choice that he made. And Ben Shapiro, just like the rest of us, have no idea what actually went down. Jess says, yeah, I might throw some rage your way, Dave. Ben Shapiro is like feeding a troll. Look, and here's the deal. If you guys want to watch Ben Shapiro, fine. But I'm going to watch I'm going to get all the information I can get and make my own educated opinion. And it doesn't, you know, and don't get me wrong, there may be, like, it might be a Venn diagram. There might be something where him and I agree on some of the same things, but I don't even want to be associated with the rest of it. Jessica Lee says, I think both sides do a good job of convincing their audience, though, Dave. I get why people don't listen to Ben Shapiro, though. Yeah. No. I totally agree. There's plenty of people that don't show all the information and they prove their points, and he goes, geez, he's making a good point. And then someone goes, well, they didn't tell you this. And that's why I like to just get all my information. Really enjoyed hearing all your thoughts as well. Always have a great rest of your day, folks. Thank you, Sheriff Oz. Thank you, guys. And thank you, Sheriff Oz. There's the Sheriff's PayPal. It's in the description of this video. Thank you guys so much for being so kind, for sticking with me through camera failure, live stream going down, all of your generous calls, donations. And if you enjoyed this and you didn't get to the other content today, we got a ton that's out there. We talked about if you haven't checked out the video that we talked about Maggie, you got to hear her story and all the other stuff that's on there. I appreciate everyone sticking around during the off season. It means the world to me that everyone's out there. Someone had asked me about the newsletter. It's coming. I'm not trying to make a big deal out of it. I just don't have all of the exact merch ready to release it. L-Dog's done an amazing job. I'm working. Tasha's got a few amazing things as well, and it's all going to be included in the merch. That'll be included in the newsletter. So just hang tight. I'm not letting you guys down. It'll be coming, and then hopefully I'll do a weekly or bi-weekly newsletter once that all starts. But thank you to the 400 plus people that signed up for the newsletter. You guys have been so amazing. It's free. It's just going to be a way for me to contact you. God forbid YouTube goes down or an account gets deleted. It's just going to be good to. They always say you got to build your newsletter. Oh hey Leah, I didn't even see you in there before. Good to see you. Tasha, Leah says hi. Tasha says hi. And let me just make sure I got everybody. I'll keep talking to you guys for a few minutes, but I'll sign out of here. And if I missed anything, we'll get right into it. But I need a good song to jam out to, though. This isn't going to do it. Let's see if we can get a good song here. Hold on. This is called Fizzy. No, I like this. It's called Don't You Worry About Me. So we'll play Don't You Worry About Me. All right, that's it. That's the groove. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate all of y'all. And we'll see you tomorrow for more content. TGIF, Eve. Good night, guys. Hey, Bonnie, if you want to donate it, you can see my information on the thumbnail right there. And if you want to donate to Oz, his link of PayPal is in the description. Thanks, Carly. Thanks, Sarah. Sarai. Danielle, you guys have been great.
Handle the truth.
Abby, thank you so much. I really appreciate you sharing your story with us. You earned the award of the week for making me cry. Oh, your question's about Glee. Oh, I just did background on it. I was like a high school kid or something. I don't think you'll see me in any episodes. Spring Lavelle, thank you so much for the nice words. The wedding channel, the vlog channel is gonna come out. Julie, thank you so much. Appreciate you. The vlog channel, I'm gonna get a little artwork for it, and then I'm gonna start taking subscribers. So it's soon. Thank you so much, Leah. I appreciate you. Yeah, Jen Murphy, this was a chill chat, wasn't it? I really enjoyed it. Pam, my only advice for you, Pam.
Be careful who you bang.
Just be careful who you bang, Pam. Tiffany, I don't know if it's searchable yet. I'll make a post. How about this? Tomorrow I'll make a post on YouTube. I'll link to it. I have 0 subscribers on that channel. I think it's just called Dave Neal Vlogs, but I don't have any cover art yet, so I need to just take care of all that. I really appreciate you asking. All right, that's it for me. Good night, everyone.